Hi there, this is Love Johar. Thank you so much for tuning in this video and thank you so much for watching this channel. Very important concept regarding governance framework discussed in this video. What is governance framework? What is information security governance? How it aligns with the information security strategy? What exactly is the framework structure? How it is supporting the organizational processes and methods and workflows? How to start developing an information security program from the scratch. Very important from an interview perspective. Anybody can ask you, okay, how will you start developing an information security program from a scratch if you go to a company and you have been appointed as a CISO? So this is a very common question being asked in the interviews. After that, what is the effectiveness of information security governance? What are the KPIs? How to assess that? How to implement information security governance? What are the 3 steps? Business strategy, role of information security governance, steering committee, most important objective of information governance program, effective governance, and risk management. Very important video. Please watch carefully. And as always, any comments, questions, please ask in the comment section. Thank you. So, what is a framework? A framework is nothing but a structure or an outline that supports the implementation of information security strategy. Okay, what does this means? This means is in the previous video, if you have watched regarding governance, I have discussed about information security strategy. If you have not watched, just watch the previous video on this channel regarding governance, and you will come to know what is information security strategy. So, information security strategy is nothing but it is aligned with the business strategy. It is aligned with the business goals and objectives. Okay, so that is information security strategy, and the main role of information security strategy is to help accomplish business goals and objectives in a secure manner. Okay, that is the whole purpose of information security strategy, that you achieve the end goals of the business, you achieve the business objectives, but in a very secure manner without losing any data. Okay, so that is in nutshell. So what is framework now? Framework is a structure or outline that supports the implementation of information security strategy. Okay, so when you now want to implement this strategy, how will you do that in an organization? Okay, you have mapped the business objectives. Okay, you have mapped all the business end goals, but now how will you map your information security strategy to your business strategy? That's where governance frameworks come into play. Okay, because now governance framework will help you understand how can you implement the information security strategy in an organization. Okay, so that is how it works. And after that, the next part is regarding the best practice for a structured security program. So governance obviously provides a best practice for a structured security program, because it will give you what are the industry best practices being offered so that you can align your information security strategy program accordingly. Frameworks are flexible, structured that any organization can adopt as per the environment and requirements. Yes, absolutely. And we will be discussing about what are these frameworks also in the next upcoming slides. So these are flexible. You can adapt them. You can tailor them. You can actually, these are flexible. So you can actually tailor them as per your requirements. Governance frameworks such as COBIT and ISO 27000 are some widely accepted and implemented frameworks for security governance. So on my channel, you can see there are many, more than 200 videos on ISO 27001 implementation and auditing. So if you want to implement ISO 27001, I would highly encourage you to watch videos on my channel, and you can do that. So ISO 27001 is a great starting point for implementation of any governance framework for an organization who is starting to implement the information security strategy. Okay, and COVID 5 is also another method. Okay, so these are the 2 frameworks that I have given you here. There are more, okay, but these are just 2 for reference. Okay, so now framework is a structure that provides outline to support the processes and methods of the business. Okay, A framework is a structure intended to support the processes and methods. They provide outlines and basic structure rather than detailed processes and methods. Are generally not intended to provide programming inputs. Okay, so there will be nothing related to programming. It will only be related to your processes and workflows. Okay, the guidance of the framework. Most important attribute is well-defined organizational structure that minimizes the conflict of interest and it shows better governance. So, what is the most important attribute of a governance structure is a very well-defined organizational structure that define roles and responsibilities that minimize the conflict of interest in the business. Okay, how to start developing an information security program. Okay, so the very common interview question. So a framework is more suitable for developing information security program as they are more flexible in adoption. Some of the common frameworks we have already discussed. Okay, this is how you start implementing information security program in any organization. Okay, from the beginning. The effectiveness of information security governance is best indicated by the involvement of the steering committee in the discussions and approval of the security projects. We have already discussed what is the steering committee in the previous video. If you have not watched, I would highly encourage you to watch the previous video. It clearly states out in the governance video what is a steering committee. It is nothing but a group of senior management people who are aligned together and they report to the senior management in order to make sure that the information security governance is being properly managed in the organization. Okay, that is what is the role of the steering committee is. Okay, so here also it says that effectiveness of information security governance is best indicated by the involvement of the Information Security Governance Steering Committee in the discussions and approval of the security projects. For example, if there is a new project, if there is a new upcoming project in your organization where you are developing, let's say, some code related to the credit card transactions for a banking system. Okay, now you have to involve all the Information Security Governance Steering Committee members from the beginning itself, because this is involving financial information. So it is a security project of critical importance to the business. So here you need to involve them, and if you do this, this itself indicates that management is committed for security governance in the organization. This is how you can assess it and approve it and actually see whether the information security governance in any organization is being effective or not. Okay, what are the 3 steps for implementing information security governance? So the first step is to adopt and decide on the security strategy. Okay, what is the security strategy? How to do this is basically understand what are the business objectives, what is the end goal, what are you trying to achieve, and accordingly you adapt the security strategy. Second step is to develop the security policies based on the strategy. Okay, then you define the different security policies based on the strategy that you have defined. Okay, now some more factors that will help you on the step 1 to define security strategy will be your regulations, your standards, your government compliance. These are all the factors that will help you in defining step 1, and considering all the requirements of those regulations and standards. Let's say, for example, if you in the example that I just gave before for banking system, let's say since you are dealing with the credit card transactions, so you might be dealing with PCI DSS as well, because that's a compliance now, as a standard that is that needs to be followed. So now what you will do is you will develop the security policies based on the PCI DSS compliance frameworks and all the highlighted rules of PCI DSS that has to be mandatory, being followed by any company who is doing credit card transactions, and accordingly fill in all those objectives in the security policies that you create. Okay, and this basically indicates the intent of the management in making sure that the security strategy is being followed as per the security governance. Okay, third step is to develop and design the security procedures, architecture, and guidelines based on the security policies. So first level is very high level. Second level is a medium level where you're actually defining something for the organization. First level is related with the board of the steering committee. Second level is related with the senior management who are developing these policies, and the third level is basically related to the people who are actually on the job, who are actually working on the roles where you are actually implementing these policies, these frameworks. So on the third level you actually have hands-on people. That's why you now develop security procedures, guidelines, and architectures based on the security policy, so that people who are actually working on those transactions, on those credit card workflows, they need to understand now what needs to be done on their side. Okay, these are the three very important steps. Okay, business strategy primarily drives the information security governance. We have already discussed that. Business strategy is the main deciding factor. Security must be aligned with business objectives. Already discussed that. Information security governance should support the business strategy. We have already discussed that. So, in nutshell, if you see so far, one thing I can pretty much say to you: if anybody asks about information security governance, if anybody asks you about information security governance framework, if anybody asks you about information security strategy, all these things should be aligning with the business end goals, the business objectives, the business strategy. You have to keep this in mind. Okay, all this is being done in order to support the business strategy, the business objectives, the business end goals. Okay, I hope this is pretty clear now. What is the role of the information security governance steering committee? Steering committee, as I already mentioned, they basically discuss, they prioritize, and they approve all the information security projects in the organization and make sure that the information security governance framework is being followed. What is the most important objective of information security governance program? Most important objective of information security governance program is to address and support the business strategy, already discussed. Okay, effective governance is best indicated by effective and efficient risk management program. Okay, so what it says is, when here we discuss the we prioritize and approve the projects, it is basically being done by efficient risk management program only, because here the steering committee actually understands what are the risks, what are the main risk areas, high risk areas of the projects, and accordingly prioritize the projects and accordingly make the decisions and approve them. Okay, so that's why effective governance is best indicated by an effective and efficient risk management program, which is being followed by the steering committee. Okay, so this question and this question is clearly related. Okay, once you understand the concept, you will be able to understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, any question, any thing you want to add, anything you want to add from your governance perspective, from what your on the job experience on governance and governance frameworks and information security strategy, please feel free to add in the comment section. I would be more than happy to know that. And any questions, as always, on this video, please feel free to ask in the comment section. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.